Tuesday and a Thursday night game we've got to prepare for. And so we're just going to be getting stuck into here, listening to some music and working on these notes. And you're welcome to join me and be entertained. Let me just send out all the notification thingos. And don't worry, I'll be right with you. All right, what do we got here? Okay, so the first campaign we're looking at is the Ashenport campaign. Let's get a new set of thingos here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're gonna want 10 secrets. NPCs potentially the same. Monsters, we'll see. And magic items. Well, they've just been given a bloody boat. I should be happy with that. So potential quests. We're doing the sort of evil Ashenport campaign here. Keep playing. Start new map. And these are the fish guts party. Oh, hey, I pushed this to Facebook as well. That's interesting. I totally forgot I was doing that. Alrighty. So last time we left the party, we had them escape from the cave underneath the lighthouse here. And in doing so, they stole a boat, a weird party boat, apparently. And I guess they have a couple of options, and I think one of them is to just leave and fuck off. Another one is going to be to get on the boat, go down south here, and rescue a bunch of the people in town who have actually been nice to them, and then leave. Another one is going to be come down here, organize like people to start getting on the boat, and while they do that, while people kind of load up and get ready for bear, they're going to go up here and defeat the big evil. So I'm not really sure how it's going to go down, but we're going to need some level of prep here and maybe some notes. So we're going to need a strong start. It's one of the main things in the Sly Flourish Lazy DM guide, and I find it's quite useful to have that kind of strong start to kick things off. Pop out my chat here so I can keep one eye on it. Let's do this. Amen, Clark. Yeah, it is going to be a bit fun. At least I hope so. That's the plan. So let's go over who we've got. We got Bo, played by Katie, a half-orc rogue, arcane trickster, loves stealing shit, interested in creative accounting. Recently had some intellect eaten by a octopus. So it's kind of like a intellect devourer, but you know, where it's a sort of Dagon fish cult. So of course it was an octopus, and Bo, they're a little bit shell shocked at the moment. Let's pull this over here. Still just setting all this up how I like it. That should be good. It's going to bother me, but we'll put it in the middle there. Cool. Enk is a rock gnome battlemaster fighter, formerly a ship captain, lost his ship to the Sea Sprite. I think he did mention what his ship's name was, but we're not too worried about that. Wants to be a pirate captain again. Obviously stoked to be getting his own boat again. Now, is this going to be appropriate enough as a token? I think so. And it can kind of bring them all along. It's certainly not to scale, I don't think. Okay. So we want to have them rock in. We've got Martine, played by Cam. She's a halfling Gloomstalker ranger. She's been out of civilization for some time. Hates beasts. No nonsense killer. Awesome. I think we could probably force their hand someone, right? So what if they bring the what if as they bring the boat into shore, the and kind of get it docked on the wharf there, and they kind of grab everyone and or as they pull up and they kind of moor the ship, the water's going to recede out. The tide is going to drop, revealing a bunch of the dead bodies, and so in this story, like the call of Dagon kind of forces new people to the town, not the townsfolk, not the people part of the cult, but people who are visiting, to kind of hurl themselves into the ocean and drown themselves. So what if the story becomes, or the strong start becomes, they bring the boat in, this slow, lazy boat. That's probably a little bit too big then, now that I'm looking at the scales, but whatever. The water's going to recede, which is actually going to prevent them from leaving. And the lighthouse is going to shine its sort of, it's going to stop from, swinging around and casting light everywhere to a beam of light is going to sort of illuminate them and the tavern here, and then they're going to be maybe against the clock a little bit to get up to that part of town and fuck shit up. The downside is I need them to have a long rest because they are super beat up after their last fight. And I think they might be ready to hit level 4 actually. Okay, so let's write that down. I like this as a strong start. So maybe the water doesn't recede straight away, but we can get them into the tavern, get them that long rest, and then as they sort of wake up, they wake up to sort of a call beneath the waves. And this time, instead of everyone trying to hurl themselves into the ocean, like the water recedes, revealing all these kind of dead bodies, and that's ominous as hell. So you bring the ship into port in front. I'm gonna remember what the pub's called. We're probably going to need, we're definitely going to need new scenes. Trade port. Could this be what I want? This works. That's only going to be required if they have to fight here, I think, and probably going to have them fight here. When they go to actually leave. Can we can't rotate this, can we? That's all the grid, initial view. Well, it is also going to be raining. Because of course it is. For the pub, we'll figure out the name for it in a minute. You see the worried faces of you left in there, peeking through the windows at your arrival. Lily is now Lily's sort of an NPC that I gave them for a little while as sort of a cleric healer when they were low levels, just to kind of give them a bit of access to healing until they could kind of get their own. What's the news? You've been gone think they've been gone 2 days. And Lily, or I guess Lily kind of brought back one of the other people they rescued. So she probably has seen them more recently than 2 days, but whatever. That's not super important. So scenes we're going to have in the on the Rain Slick docks, in the tavern, and they're maybe going to go like assault on the lighthouse. I'd like to give them the option to assault the lighthouse and stop the sort of evil glowy kind of thing that's up there. And then after that, they're likely going to have to get on the boat, get out to sea, maybe like have a sea battle of sorts, and go from there. All right. Potential quests: rescue the visitors, so the people who aren't here in the town. Kill the lighthouse, essentially, is going to be the other one. And escape the town on board the ship. So after a long rest, they exit to find the tide has receded, and I think it's going to be the lighthouse light is, instead of sort of swinging around as it was normally, is focused on their boat. So that's probably going to kick them into gear to have to, all right, we got to go sort out this lighthouse business. That's going to be the key to all of this. And now we get to the point where the hardest part, we got to figure out what kind of secrets they can learn. So what did they learn last week? The basalt altar is linked to the storm outside. Some of the fish people were crew of the Rabbit. So that was Ink's boat name. We should put this up here. Lost his ship. The Rabbit. To the Sea Sprite. Some of the fish people were crew on the Rabbit, is what he found out last week as well, or at least one was. There was a sort of kobold named Boots that had been turned into one of these fish creatures. Also, the rain is becoming oily. And I think they learned that the ship had gone to Cholt. So I kind of introduced Cholt in a way that I could kind of use if I wanted to go trade Tomb of Annihilation, or just take them to Cholt, which is kind of an interesting place. It's not spoilers for you, Steve. This is for my Monday night game, so I'll let you know when it comes to Waterdeep, Dragon High spoilers, and I'll let you get right out of there. This Monday night game I'm preparing at the moment is not one I stream at all, so there's no spoilers there for you. That's right. Having a notepad. There we go. I'll chuck you down here. All right, so let's see which kind of secrets we liked from last week that we didn't kind of use. And one is probably going to be very particularly useful, which is the lighthouse is a giant anglerfish. Goldleaf trades with Cholt. They're probably going to find those two out together. I think they found out that, actually, I think they've already found this out, that this ship was carrying a cursed item. So that's, we won't have that as a new secret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So where are they going to end up? They're going to, probably their main thing is they're going to end up in the, having to fight their way through the streets and then head to and then head to the lighthouse, right? So what have we got here for the lighthouse? We got a Kraken Priest, who seems pretty cool. I've been using a lot of these like Koa length dudes, but maybe something a little bit different, like a merfolk. Or a Mero. Let's look in the monstrosities that we have. Ooh, more of Secular. So it's, what is this? Legendary resistance. This might be way too, 114 health. Yeah, that's way too high. Juvenile Kraken, though, is kind of cool. Oh, challenge rating 14? Yeah, no chance. They're like level 3. I mean, an aboleth. No. A scaled down Chul could be kind of cool. Like, that just screams to me, you know, abomination from the sea, right? And we give it, you know, 1 pincer attack. If the Chul is grappling creature, the Chul can use its tentacles once. 2d6. Oh, poison. The target is paralyzed. See, that's pretty bonkers for this current level. But we could make a copy of this. Let's duplicate and rename it. Mr. Pinchy. Nothing screams Eldritch Abomination Horror than Mr. Pinchy. So it's going to give... Let's scale down its health first. So we're going to want half of this. So we'll go 5d10 plus 15. What kind of creature does that give us? I mean, that's still going to be pretty sizable, right? Could sense magic. Pincer is probably going to have to be weakened a little bit. If it is going to do 2 pincer attacks, this definitely needs to be scaled down. It has a bit of reach, and we'll give it 1. Okay. If it is grappling a creature, it can... Now, this would be a pretty easier one. Poison for 1 minute. And we'll just do the poison. Paralyzing effect's probably a bit full on. Why didn't you save? So what's its health going to be? 100. Whoa, 110. Oh god. I mean, this is still meant to be Mr. Pinchy. $98 health. That's still 11d10. Why are you not changing here? Let's go 5d8. That's 10. I want it to be around... It's still baking in the full health bar there. Let's try again. Maybe I'd opened it, you know, multiple times. Interesting. Can't even close it. What are you doing to me, Foundry? give it the old refresh. Oh, there is a Mr. Dory. They did fight one of these. This is challenge rating 10. This is not what they fought. Okay. I think it must have been undead. Drowned Master? Yeah, this could be... This could be what they fight. Oh, we got a little Stream Raiders battle ready to go. Let's, it's only me and Channy. Oh, not quite enough. It's alright, we'll get him on the next one. How do we put in the boat? We're going to want the vehicle. It's going to need to be bigger than that. It's a very tiny boat. What do I have over here? Like 12 and 5? Maybe that's too big. Let's turn on global illumination while I'm doing this, because might need to be a little bit bigger, but I think we're in the right headspace here. Shift WASD. That seems about right. It's not a huge. It's not meant to be like a huge ship. Maybe a little bit bigger, right? That seems about right. That's good enough for engineering. All right. Gladstone. Our first ship was once part of the Gold Leaf Trade Consortium. We have to work out the mount up thing, because I think there's a module that lets you treat this as something they can jump onto. It's not going to keep putting them underneath it. All right, let's go to the lighthouse. Kraken Cleric versus Kraken Priest. What do we got? Did I just make a copy so that one wouldn't be insane? Nope, seems exactly the same. This is going to be a big old bad guy. The fine Kraken Priest. Because he fine. They already fought this guy. Oh, he's got 69 health. Nice, nice, nice. I like the idea of a merfolk. Like, they're nothing special, but they're could be good fodder. Inject toxin. More paralyzed stuff. It's the rapier thing is interesting though. Let's have a couple of merfolk, you know, climb their way up effectively. Sort of minions that can be easily dealt with. What is this thing? Some sort of flying snake. A two-headed flying snake. A Grick is suitably fucked up, but I think it's maybe a little bit too fucked up. Stats-wise. Well, I'll have them fight a bunch of undead on the beach, I think. Maybe they could have a drowned something or other. What are you? Nautillo asks, what software thingy is this? This is Foundry, similar to Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds. You can roll dice in it and prep your games and things like that. And it has some interesting features where you can create walls and light sources and whatnot. Similar to Roll20. And so if I select this token, you can kind of see its point of view. Yeah, it's pretty rad. Ghouls, maybe. Ghouls are always fun. They're just very dumb and simple. Wraith is going to be way too hard for them. Spear the Helpless. What an asshole. Yeah, so this guy's going to have one of these. Oh, here we go. The Sachwichin. These guys are suitably evil, right? Yeah, so these guys are similar, but a little bit different to the Coalinth. Just enough to... I mean, they have a spear instead of a trident. And they have shark telepathy. Okay. Maybe those instead of... Blood Frenzy. Hatchling Swarm. Only really found in water. Blade Master, Baron, Priestess, Wave Shaper. That's challenge rating 5. Coral Smasher. I mean, I like all of these. Whoa, maybe not that one. That's a lot of dice. Coral Smasher though seems a little bit more realistic for where these guys are at. It just gives a little bit of variety. Definitely a watery merfolk. Now they're going to be in a pretty enclosed space here. So I think maybe, I mean, it is Dagon, so snakes. Snakes seem like a thing it could be. Yeah, we'll get some snakes come out of the woodwork, and they're going to be sort of easy enough to kill. So this guy's going to be up here. The snakes will just go down in one hit, but they're just going to be annoying and harry the party somewhat. And we'll have you over here. We got 38 health, 30 health, roughly on par there. We'll have the Kraken Priest probably ignore them for most of it. What are these guys? Yeah, okay. I mean, that might just be a little bit extreme, but we'll have them sort of not really join the fight straight away. Not everyone's going to go in and go crazy. And we'll have the snakes arrive midway through. You know, snakes can kind of come out of the depths and just cause a lot of headaches. Chuck you there. You're nice and invisible now. Alrighty. We need some cool secrets. We've kind of got the scenes in the fantastic locations at the same time, but the wind storm swept lighthouse. Something sort of evocative so that I remember what it is. The corpse beach. The Warm Tavern. So we're going to start off, I think, in that tavern, or get there, have that long rest, have a bit of a chat with everyone that's going on, make a plan. And then that plan is going to be fucked up by the corpse beach and the storm swept lighthouse. So let's look for a beach map. want some kind of like low tide beach. Maybe it can just be a regular kind of beach battle map. It's just effectively low tide, right? Let's, all right, make a new scene. Corpse beach. That work? It will. Okay, so now we've got to align our grid to the existing grid, and the existing grid is a bit bigger. That looks mighty close. Oh. A little bit too big grid size. Let's try 140. I always do that. Ah, oh, there we go. Look how beautiful that is. So they're going to make their way along the shore, I guess. How's this work? They make their way along. So there can be like another basalt altar here. And it's going to be surrounded by corpses. And those corpses are going to kind of, a bunch of them are going to come wake up and attack. People who died in Act 1. Like some people kind of threw themselves into the ocean of Dagon. Ah, cool. Yeah, the Discord chat pulls into the chat as well. That's fun. All right, let's get some undeadies. Ground. See, some of these are going to be just way too powerful, but oh. No, I mean, they've fought a Deep Scion, so let's give them another one of those. It's got Psychic Screech, Bites, Claws, etc. Rusted Sword. What do you have? Unarmed Attack. Hand Crossbow. That's kind of cool. Reveal. You are challenge rating 9. You are not coming anywhere near my party right now. We can just have some regular zombies too, right? That's kind of fun fodder. Skeletons, of course. Skeletal Swarm. So the Deep Scion can kind of come out of the ocean flanked by these things. I mean, you have way too much health for what I want you to do. Yeah, you're gonna have like half the health for sure. You're fine. Especially because they've got the cool thing that does extra damage to undead. Alright, so we got a bunch of zombies. What other cool undead can we throw in here? Ghouls? Yeah, maybe like 1 or 2 ghouls. They're kind of like the drowned ones from The Witcher. I think a white is probably too much. And skeleton. So I have a couple of skeletons sort of back here. And a ghoul. A couple of zombies. Actually, yeah, the zombies could be kind of on the ground here. Because they're probably quite useless down there. Whereas these creatures are actually going to be able to come up and cause a bit of trouble for the party. Cool. Alright, so we got the corpse beach. What's some Ghost March stuff that I can kind of tie in? Shall we grab a drink? All right, well, we're off to a cracking start. Let's change gears a little bit here and let's look at the Lost Mines of Phandelver, where we're up to there. So this is for the Tats and Tarasques team. This is our Thursday night game. We got Paulie the Parrot, Thorindir Grimsbane, Towley, Ymir Palace. He's less likely to be turning up. And then we had a new person join. And I've completely whiffed on his name. Here we go, use tech. Use tech in Sanos. And that's UA. Tiefling Warlock, Celestial Warlock. Marathon runner. And he's sort of a devotee of the world record holder for the marathon. Is he the devout marathon runner, devout follower of Kipchoge. Devout follower of Kipchoge. Marathon runner. Uses no weapons. All about the love of training and exploring new places. Cool. So when last we left our heroes on Thursday night, they had just made their way through the Bread Brand hideout. And they kind of defeated Glassstaff. Hello, Forge. Return to setup. Why are you making me a fool in front of everyone? Forge. Might need to open it up in Chrome. Usually Firefox has no problem though. Here we go, let's do this one. Just bear with me while I adjust the stream a little bit. There we go. Here we go. Let's make sure everything's all up to date. There we go. Cool. So I don't know why Firefox is being rude today. It's a bit silly, but oh, we can start our battle. I don't think we've got enough, Channy. We'll see. All right, so the last we saw these heroes Thursday night, they made their way to the Red Brain hideout. They killed a bunch of bad guys in there. Glass staff almost escaped, but they were able to kind of get in there and fuck his shit up. That's right, that's what. Let's delete that one. And delete these empty scenes. And so now they need to decide where they're going to go next. And their potential quests are... and these are from the Lost Mines of Phandelver kind of thing, right? They're going to... I guess they can go to Thunder Tree. They have been told about... Marina had... as they rescued her, Marina had kind of told them that they can go to Thunder Tree. Where's my overland map? Here we go. It says Coinberry, the Mirror of the Dead Man, Sword Mountains, Phandalin. Thunder Tree is up here. If they do that, they're probably going to end up going to Helm's Hold as well. So there's Thunder Tree, Marina's Locket. Her family had a herb and alchemy shop. There's a necklace. Marina's necklace. So they've been told about Thunder Tree. They've also just been told about Sildar ask them to take out the hobgoblins, the Cragmore hobgoblins. Offered them, I think it was 500 gold for that. And I think Towley had a quest that was to go to Conyberry. So they've got a lot to do. And I think it was ask a hag about magic book. And they've also got the overarching story quest of find Gundren, find the Rock Seekers. Gundren kidnapped, brothers missing. They haven't returned back to the town, which is a bit worrying. There's that whole thing. If you got to try and find them in the first 48 hours. So do we know where Cragmore is, right? Is it in Helm's Hold or is it like in the forest here? Let's look at the adventure notes, the spider's web. Here we go. We got all these little notes. So Sister Gorel wants the characters to seek out the Banshee Agatha in the ruined town of Conyberry and ask her about Bowgentle's spellbook. Darren L. Edemath wants the characters to find out who's lurking near the ruins at Old Owl Well. Quillen Elderleaf has suggested the characters go to the ruined town of Thundertree and consult with the druid Radoth, who might know the whereabouts of Cragmore Castle, Wave Echo Cave, or both. Townmaster Harbin Wester wants the characters to seek out an orc encampment near Wyvern Tor and chase the orcs out from the area. Where is Wyvern Tor? I think you got to give me more information to go on than that. Okay, so let's put some notes on this map so that we know, as the dungeon master and whatnot, where things are meant to be, and we'll add. Here we go, Cragmore Hideout. So that's the Cragmore Hideout, but we want Cragmore Keep. So let's create a folder and locations. Because this will be the location note. So Cragmore Hideout, boom. Now let's create a new one. Cragmore Castle. And we'll grab any information we have in here from about Cragmore Castle. Just so it's all in kind of one spot. Thundertree. Here we go. Cragmore Castle. King Groll, Return of the Warband. Right. So, Cragmore Castle tribe consists of marauding bands of rival goblins. King Groll. Alright, so Cragmore Castle's like in here. Now that's not visible to the players, but it's visible to us. So if they just wander through the things, we can go, hey, you've stumbled upon it. Each of these sort of off-road, I'm pretty sure, is meant to be, you know, a day or two travel. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. I am. It's mostly relaxing and staying hydrated. Miserable weather out there in Victoria at the moment. Alright, let's find a cool map, if I don't already have one, for Cragmore Castle. And we'll look to set up a new map. We'll set up lights, we'll set up walls, and we'll do all that kind of fancy stuff. Do I have? I don't have a Cragmore Castle. Oh, this one looks fun. Okay. So let's try this. Let's create a new scene called Cragmore Castle. We're going to link it to the Cragmore Castle notes that I have. Here's the image path. That might not work. That's a Reddit preview link. Whoops. Let's try that. Sometimes it can be a little bit finicky. It doesn't like certain images and whatnot, but we can import scenes, Lost Mines, and chuck it in here. Here we go, Cragmore Castle. For a scene with no background image. Okay. Why are you not working? When it's seamless, and when it doesn't, it's completely opaque. 102 4736. Let's try a brand new scene. Let's delete this one. Cragmore Castle. Fresh. Here we go. This is the stuff. Now we want to make this a lot bigger if we can. Yeah, it feels a bit small, doesn't it? Let us try something here. We're gonna save the file again. I think I saved like a smaller version of the file, which is a bit silly. I wonder if we'll save it as a 1 or whether we'll override it here. Two two 2240161. Yeah, it looks a bit blurry like that, doesn't it? Here we go. We just uploaded under a different name. Get that high res. Once again, we got to grid it up here. This looks about 70. Cool. How's it going, bub? Oh. Here we go. Here's our castle. Got the right map in there. This time we do. Cool. Global illumination we're not going to have. But we are going to make some walls here. So we got little arrow slits, we got some doors. We'll deal with the doors later. So this is a old, I assume, a human castle that's been taken over by herb goblins. And we'll create some global illumination outside here. And then when our good friends come in, they can't see inside yet. They'll be able to catch glimpses and things like that. How about that second coffee? Never mind. Yeah. Little chips. Oh yeah? Thanks, baby. Ah, oh, you're a gem. Thank you. So our gang has fought goblins and a couple of bugbears, but they haven't obviously fought proper hobgoblins yet. Rather than... Okay, clever characters might try and sneak their way in or talk their way in. We will see if that includes my players. What are the odds of that? We don't know. Something sort of well, I was going to say there's something sort of therapeutic about just going through and like creating all these little walls in the maps and setting up the map how you want it. And then, as I said that, someone drove past blaring their horn. So, slightly less therapeutic. That's got to be... so maybe I make this a terrain wall here. So I can kind of see through, but not. Now the last kind of enemy area they, or the last two enemy areas they kind of went into, which was the Red Brand Pub, the Sleeping Giant, and the Red Brand Hideout. They made it a point of burning parts of it to the ground. So I wonder if they'll do the same here, or well, the fact that it's made of stone kind of stop them. Yeah, I used to do these in Roll20, and Roll20 was kind of good for a while, but I've just found that despite the little hiccups we've had in creating maps here, or setting up scenes, the this Foundry virtual tabletop is a lot better. Just the different kind of wall types and lighting types, and the fact that you can set up actual doors and stuff is pretty neato. And I'll show you an example of that. So this castle has a lot of arrow slits. Who are they defending against? I guess orcs back in the day. This would have been the human encampment that had to deal with orcs and stuff. If you're just joining us, we are setting up our campaign prep for our Thursday night game. A bit earlier, we did some for our Monday night game, and Steve was in the chat, so I decided not to do any for our Tuesday night Fancy Lads game. We're having a very particular discussion about Dune spoilers and about not watching trailers and things like that, and I'm definitely not going to spoil the campaign that he's playing in. Yeah, extra cognizant of that kind of stuff. They're running sort of an adjusted version of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. But the one I'm working on now is our Lost Mine of Phandelver group that we play on Thursday nights most often, where the group has killed the Glassstaff, the leader of the Red Brand Raiders, or the Red Brand Bandits. In Phandelver, brought a little bit more peace and civility to that town. but now they've been tasked with a couple of different things, and I kind of made myself a problem by ending at a point where they didn't really have a clear, this is exactly where we're going to go next. They've been given the mission to go to Cragmore Castle, but they don't know where it is. They've been given a mission to go to Thunder Tree to like get a necklace as a thank you for rescuing Myrna, the lady who her and her kids were sort of kidnapped by the Red Brands. And then they've also been given a quest by the cleric in town to go haggle with, I think it's a hag or it's a banshee, sorry. So I'm gonna have to set up and be ready for a couple of those things, and be a little bit over prepared. But that's kind of the way it goes sometimes. All right. I don't see that I'm missing any walls. Please let me know if you think I've missed some walls. We're going to add some terrain walls, and we'll add doors for this. So that's one thing I really enjoy about the Foundry, is you can have different kinds of walls and in particular doors as well. So you'll see these blue ones are doors, and we'll show an example over here with our testy token Ymir, the Goliath barbarian. From his point of view, he sees doors, and he can't see through those doors until he, as a player, can click and open the door, and then he can see inside, and we can close it. So this is a handy little feature, and it kind of puts the opening of doors in the hands of the player. And you just got to be able to trust your players that, they tell you, hey, I'm opening the door, or like, I think, Steve, if you're still here, you opened a door into the warehouse without telling me, and then quickly closed it, and then went, yep, okay, I better tell the DM. Yep, I opened the door, saw what was inside, saw a giant dragon, and closed the door, and it just kind of adds to this level of it's in the PC's hand, it's in the player's hand sometimes. They will see things, and if you're clever about how you set up your campaign and how you set up your map, they'll see things and be like, oh, wow, and their mind will race, but without even needing any description. So let's do a wall like this. So these green walls are terrain walls. And the way they work is I think they block line of sight. It's like a limited blocking of line of sight. They block line of sight if there's kind of two terrain walls there. And if they were to walk into it, for example, that's when they can kind of see through it. So you see Ymir here can't see through the rubble. But if he was to get inside, he can see on both sides, and if he climbs over, he can't see outside anymore. So I'm not sure if these areas are. So let's look at area 4, the ruined barracks. A little more than a heap of rubble. Yeah, so I'd probably make it that they can come in through over the rubble. They can't see over the rubble, but they could in theory make their way over it, right? You could also set it up so terrain walls will stop their movement. Effectively like an invisible wall. It'll stop movement but won't stop line of sight. In fact, he can kind of see there, but he can't go in. So this terrain will stop him from just walking in there. We might do similar here. What is that supposed to be? Is that a wall? C11. Oh, a dusty canvas. Hides the northern entrance to this area, blending in with the surrounding stonework and rubble. The character who... Okay, cool. So this is effectively a secret door. Now, we'll test this out and see what it ends up looking like, but... Now, maybe it just needs to be walls then, because is this going to be... Yeah. Let's bring these walls up a bit. Like this, right? Because we don't want them to know how deep this this goes. So Ymir's out here. He kind of sees the wall as it is. Move restrictions normal. Secret closed. Okay. Let's move it a bit smaller. All right. Pretty happy with that. I've been live for almost 2 hours. It's a bit of fun. Hope you're having fun. I'm pretty happy with where this is at. I think I just got to populate it now, right? So let's go through and check the areas. And I might even just put a sort of notes on here that only I can see. Sort of on a secret DM level. Just so that we can remember each of the rooms when I'm sort of looking at them here. Now that's actually going to appear to the players, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to have to be a little bit more clever about this. All right. If you've run the Cragmore Castle before, I've run Lost Mines of Phandelver a couple of times now, but my players have almost always skipped this part. Or we've just never made it here. Okay, I'm going to leave that out so I can refer to it. Castle entrance. The castle consists of 7 crumbling towers of different sizes and heights, but the upper stories are all in varying states of collapse. A short flight of stairs leads up to a terrace in front of the main entryway. Past the wreckage of a pair of sundered doors lies a shadowed hall. Round towers loom over the entranceway with dark arrow slits looking down the terrace. Okay, at night all areas are dark, although these areas seem to have little braziers. Oh, excuse me. Although the goblins probably wouldn't need them. Maybe they would for cooking and stuff like that anyway. Yeah, let's put light in here. Just little ones. And they might come in at night anyway, so... yeah. Let's move the global illumination down here. And we'll make it a lot bigger. There we go. Well, sun's, well, I guess I can move it depending on what time of day it is, right? Like sun's rising in the east or is somewhat in the east. Sun still rises in the east in a fantasy world, I hope. All right. Now we need goblins. Yep. Goblin sentries in area 3. I'm keeping watch. That's in this little bit in here. So number 2 is the trapped hole. So there's a trap here. So I want to put a note so that I remember, or some kind of invisible token. Sure. How do I... I have no text label. Ruins? No. Trap. There we go. Now I want that to appear all the time, so how do I do that? That's right. I'll have to know it's there. It's in that whole section. Ah, there we go. So I've pinned notes here. Let's put it in the middle. And let's move on back to Cragmore Castle. The trap, archer post, the main defenses, which is here and here, 2 goblins each room. Why is Dice So Nice not rolling? Ooh. That's kind of cool. Glitter party. Ugh, acquired taste for sure. Toxic. Okay. That's getting a little bit sidetracked. Let's get some more goblins. Maybe these guys don't have... Oh no, they do have a thing. Yeah, because they're coming out different health. 4 health, 5 health. Goblin. Goblin. 10 health. Oh, some tough ones down there. The Ruined Barrack. 3 goblins are down here. Any loud noises attract the attention of goblins in area 7, which is this thing, storeroom. Let's look up here. Casks. 20 glasses. Character vibes glass. Brownie grants 1 hit point, but it's... oh, okay. So Sildar's gear is there. The hobgoblins hang out here. Oh, so the bugbears are in charge. Cool. Banquet hall, we got number 7 down here. 7 goblins and a sort of goblin boss. You know what, let's pull up the old import. Let's get some more variety on goblins and bugbears and hobgoblins. That'll be a little bit more interesting, I think. Hope you're having a beautiful Saturday, you beautiful champion people. A very productive morning. Did a bunch of tidying. Went out, bought some beef ribs for tonight. Here we go. So these goblins are specifically going to be archers, right? Because that's their jam. And I think that means even more so that they will struggle in close combat. These guys, we'll keep... I'll make one of you a thief. What's the difference between you? Scimitar, shortbow, and stake. Yeah, okay. And here we can have a bunch of different types, right? So like a sneak, a regular goblin. So what? 4, 1, 2. Okay, so some of these are going to be a little bit tougher, of course. Just a hill goblin in general. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll get like a... What's a driver? He's got a whip. Yeah, so maybe that's their boss. Who's giving them all shit. Right? And they're just ripe for being fireballed or something. Alright, so we got this dark hallway in here. Contains a grick. And it is hidden up in the shadows. Goblins in area 9. So the Goblin Shrine. Goblins have no use for human gods. The Cragmaws redirect the place to the god of goblins. The shrine is home to Lupo, a goblin, and 2 normal goblins. Well, let's put the Goblin Warlord here. And this can be Lupo. He's got his staff and stuff. He's a Goblin Priest. Although, as it says here, he has no particular interesting powers or anything. And he's only got 12 hit points. Bloodstained cloth completely covers the stone altar, the sides of which are engraved with images of the same gods reflected in the decor. Cool. The other gate down here, locked but unguarded, so let's lock that. A large iron door stands here. It's locked. Arrow slits. Okay. A couple of hobgoblins in here. Goblin soldier, challenge rating 3. That might be a little bit too extreme. Hobgoblin warrior makes sense though. And just a regular hobgoblin. And then what have we got in 13? Owlbear Tower. So there's actually an owlbear. Okay, brilliant. How did it get in there? Looks like we threw area limit. Yeah, okay. Yes, that door's locked as well. Well, at least there's like a drop bar in front of it, right? And there's a couple of curtains that block line of sight, so that's going to be ethereal walls. So they block line of sight, but they can be passed through. Didn't catch those originally. They're not super clear on this map, but that's fine. Kingroll is a fierce old bugbear with 45 hit points. What does a regular bugbear get us? 32. What about a bugbear headman? 150 health. No, thank you. Bugbear brute 65. Seems closer. Spiked Great Club. Morningstar Javelin. Bugbear Elder Brute. So Bugbear's challenge rating 1. Let's pull out a warrior and a brute and kind of compare the pair, as it were. So what's he got? 2d8 plus 2 piercing damage. 2d4 plus 1d4. What does this look like? Oh, well, that's a crit. 13 versus 10. So this guy, the brute is probably going to do more damage, especially if he crits. He's going to be easier to hit. Excuse me, but he has more health. I think that's fine. Whereas this guy's just going to be bad news bears. Undistinguished warrior, challenge rating 4. Yeah, let's get him out of here. It's between these two, really. Yeah, let's do the fancy one. So this is King Groll, the Bugbear Brute. And he's got a wolf and a doppelganger that's disguised as a female drow. So, wolf, doggle. He's got a wolf and doppelganger. Disguised as a drow though, so I need some kind of drow. Let's hide you for now, just in case I am silly enough to kind of run it through. If the villain's been warned, Gundren Rockseeker. Gundren is revived. He thanks the party for coming to his rescue. Won't leave without his map. Okay, so they can get a bit ambushed on the way out. That's quite interesting. I think I could definitely use that. All right. Well, let's create this this band of hobgoblins up here, and so they can always come out, right? Scout, pikeman, regular hobgoblin. And that guy's pretty badass. An archer. And a warrior. And 2 wolves. So these guys are all off hunting. Okay. Pretty confident we can run that one now. And with that, we might take a bit of a break from the stream. I hope you've been having a fun time lurking and enjoying it. I'm pretty set up now to go into my Monday game with the work we did on Ashenport, and I'm pretty confident that the Cragmore Castle thing is ready to go if and when we need to deploy it for the Thursday game. But I'll probably do a little bit more work later this weekend. But I am going to cook ribs tonight. So I'm going to organize that, get the rub going, make all that happen. For those of you who kind of joined in and maybe followed or just had a bit of fun, just sat around listening to me and my talking to myself, thank you very much. We got a couple of follows here today, so that was brilliant. We're always looking for more of those. But even if you don't want to follow, that's fine too. Mostly I just hope that you're doing okay and you're having a bit of a great time, and that you were kind enough to join us here on a Saturday while I eat chips and play around with little nerd shit. But yeah, I'm off skis, and I've been Sheriff Dan. Have a lovely afternoon, I guess.